In a previous live stream, we talked about Cecil defending his bath stream when somebody criticised or mentioned that they were creepy. He wasn't the only one. But let us go through the actual bath stream, the latest one, and it's kind of interesting because this the story he put out a while back was regarding the carpet cleaning guy, his boss, and when he heard that he possibly was coming onto a podcast, he panicked and he came up with half a story, which implied sort of that there was possibly a kidnapping that took place. Now, Cecil put out half a story to make us think that. Basically, he wasn't detailed in the information, and he withheld information because he wanted to use it if this guy came on the podcast. So he was basically using it as a kind of a blackmailing sort of a tactic. But he decides to tell us the whole story while he's in the bath with that dripping tap again. Cecil, please get a tap washer for that tap, because it's kind of creepy. Why are you doing things? Why are you doing these streams in the bath? It's kind of weird, especially when you talk about the things you talk about. But anyway, folks, let's get into this torture of a stream. Oh, the creepy laugh and the dripping water. It's... I shouldn't be watching this before I go to bed.
Oh, shit. See, Shredder, that's what I mean by making fucking assumptions. You see, I was going to say something about John Gideon from back in 1999. When I worked my first job, when I was, riding as a assistant pet for a carpet cleaning guy who was a creep. I thought you guys had John Gideon on the panels over there, is what I heard. Why would you, if he's your friend and shit, why would you insinuate that he's a kidnapper and shit?
Well, we don't know him. If he was to come on a podcast, he could tell his side of the story. There's nothing wrong with him actually doing that. But you got into a panic mode and you decided to hang this possible kidnapping over him. And you made it out to be a kidnapping because you said, remember, people were looking for her? And the way you worded it made it out that there was a possible kidnapping, and you tried to make it out that it was all his fault. But if there was a kidnapping and you were in the truck and you didn't report it, you're kind of in the soup as well. So now you're going to cover your ass by telling us this story. So let's hear it.
What y'all people fail to realize is, first of all, when I worked with this guy, I didn't have a license. He had the car. I was vulnerable in his vehicle.
Yes, and we know you hadn't got a license. You were vulnerable in his vehicle. I can relate to some of that. Go on.
Wherever he took me, I was stuck until he brought me home. He was the driver. I'm the passenger. I'm just there to make money to help clean carpets.
I am the passenger. But you see, the thing is, Cecil, if you would have came out with the straight story in the first place, it wouldn't imply that there was a kidnapping that took place. You see, you walked into a big rabbit hole there, like. If you were straight in the first place, You wouldn't have to explain yourself over and over again.
Back in 1999 in Kiwi carpet cleaning. So, you're basically pushing for me to tell this story is basically what you're doing, buddy.
Well, if you don't tell the story, all we've got is this possible kidnapping that you witnessed and you didn't report. So let's have it.
And it doesn't matter how I fucking wing this story, you're still going to try to make it look like I was the bad guy somehow. So, what would be the point of me even bringing it up? And I didn't come to this conclusion that this is what you were talking about based off of what you said in the video, because I didn't watch the video. I just literally sat there and thought about it. Like, what in the fuck could he possibly be talking about?
Well, you put out this kind of threat to Mr. Gideon, or Gillian, or whatever his name is, that I've got this on you, and, you made it out to be a possible kidnapping. But the thing is, you witnessed it, and I done a video at the time, saying, like, if you happen to report this, at the time, or after you'd finished working with that company, if you haven't reported it, well, you're kind of guilty of guilty by association, and you made out this to be a kidnapping just to get at John Gideon, because you thought possibly that John Gideon was going to come on a podcast and tell his side of the story. You panicked, and then you made things out worse than they are. So tell us the fucking truth. I don't even believe this truth, because everything you say is a lie. But tell us anyway.
I remember you guys over there acting like that you're talking to John and my arresting officer, and I knew none of those people was real. I didn't go look for it. I don't even know who even made a video with the supposed arresting officer. Nobody came and told me who made a video or whatnot or whatever. All I was told was by aka Master Shredder's daddy or brother or whatever.
Why do you keep doxing people? Cecil, every time you come out with a person's real name, which you got on an email, which is private, that is doxing. You're an
RV Charity Drive supposedly had Logan on a video lying, saying that I snorted pills around him.
Well, why would he lie? Everything that everybody else says is a lie, and you're always telling the truth. Yet, for one particular incident, which was your confession video, you had a number of different lies. And one contradicted the other, every time. When you got fed up saying that the video was edited, you went with this sleep humping thing. So why the fuck should we believe you?
The arresting officer of a case that I had expunged, and the guy that set me up from the case, John Gideon. I don't know. I didn't go and look. So I don't know if you really had the video or not, or the actual people or not, or whether or not you just made the shit up. Because y'all come over here telling me how you got the arresting officer's name was by me showing my expungement paperwork. Which you guys are some pause of video ass, nosy ass fucking people, I tell you that much.
Well, why show paperwork that is doxing yourself? Apparently you've done that a number of times.
And some of the nosiest people I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Well, you put out the video. If people download the video and zoom in on it, that's not their fault, it's yours.
Reading off of people's paperworks on YouTube videos, that just goes to show.
But you put out the video to public. You can't blame them. It was you to put it out.
The level of drama y'all have. But there was a situation, It wasn't no kidnapping situation. Like I said, if I sit here and try to wing this story as honestly as I can, you're still going to try to paint me as a bad guy, no matter what.
No, no. The thing is here, Cecil. You could come out with the true story, and there's going to be a lot of people that won't believe you because you're a serial liar. You know, why should we believe you? Why should we believe you in what you say with your rants, and why should we believe you in your paranormal so-called research? Because you lie all the time. You're not a reliable witness, Cecil.
So I don't think people want to hear the actual story. I think they just want to hear a fake, fucked up version of the story.
No, we'd like to hear the truth for once.
So they can twist it into whatever they want to make me look bad. Because that's what you type of people do. You know? And even Queen Tracy said, no, Cecil, just don't say nothing. Keep it to yourself. Well,
that says a lot about Queen Tracy. Right there.
You see what keeping it to myself does. It causes...
No, Cecil, you put out this narrative that this girl got kidnapped to make Mr. Gideon look really bad, because you panicked because you were under the impression that he was coming on a podcast. Tell the truth.
Shredder to slander me and accuse me of being involved in a kidnapping when it wasn't even the case.
But you put out that video. I can't find the video, but it is, I commentated on that video. It is on my channel. And when you put out that video, it shocked everybody, because you were putting out this narrative. Like, remember the girl? Oh yeah, remember that? We picked her up on the van. Remember that? People were looking for her. That puts out a narrative that there's a possible kidnapping. As simple as, like, you only put out a half a story to make it look like there was a possible kidnapping, so you could make this Mr. Gordon guy look really, really bad. You're trying to scare him into not coming on a podcast. That's what you did.
You know, what people fail to realize is when I worked with John Gideon when I was 18 years old, I had no fucking control of where this man took me, you know, while being with him. I had to depend on him to get home. So
I can understand that. You were 18, it's your first job. Let's go past this.
If I jumped out of the truck and left, I was fucking stranded. I didn't have anybody to come get me.
But if there was a crime that took place, would you get out of the truck? I think you possibly did say that you would further on the video, so let's just keep going.
Cell phones and shit wasn't common. Like, this was fresh after Tupac died in the late 90s. Nobody had those light up Nokia phones yet or anything. Fucking, all there was fucking phones at the house, you know? So I wouldn't have been able to call nobody to come pick me up if I would have jumped out of the car, you know? And you can't say that I'm guilty by association either, because whoever is behind the wheel is the one in control of everybody's destiny at the end of the day.
Yes, but if you know that there's a crime taking place and somebody is in danger and you don't report it, that doesn't look good for you, you know? Yes, you can say that you were scared of saying anything because this guy has an authority over you. I can give you that. But you put out this thing that there was a possible kidnapping. That's why people went fucking nuts. See, so why are we talking about this in the band?
Well, anyway, I'm gonna tell the fucking story, since...
Well, you know, we're 5 minutes into the video. It's about time you did.
I'm sure you're over there telling a bullshit version of it. Which
no, I'm commentating on what you're going to say right now.
All they're doing is confirming that you wasn't even really talking to the real John Gideon. Because if you was, you would not be over there insinuating that me and him kidnapped somebody.
But you put that out. That was you. And then you decided you'd hold back half the information because you want to keep it in your arsenal. So see, just get on with the fucking story.
Because it wasn't the fucking case. I mean, you might wing it that way, possibly. But if you do that, all they're going to do is confirm to everybody that that John Gideon wasn't really over there talking to your buddy, which is going to make you look real fucking stupid and a liar, like I've already made you look like.
No, you didn't do that. You put out the narrative that there was a possible kidnapping by saying, remember, people were looking for her. Now, that could mean a number of things. But you made it look... You put this sugar coating on it by not coming out with the whole story to make us think that there was a possible kidnapping. Now, are we supposed to ignore that? No. Yes, the information isn't all there, but you went down the narrative that there was a possible kidnapping of an underage girl. That's what you fucking did. So don't start twisting this. The only reason why you're coming out with this now is because you got shit for that video. And I don't even know if it's up on YouTube. I looked and I can't find it.
Look, one day, I don't know exactly what day it was or whatever. I don't know how close it was to my setup. But when I was working with John Gideon, one day he told me to get in the back cab. Okay? So I jump in the back cab. Next thing you know, he pulls over on the side of a road where this girl, this redheaded girl who looks like a young woman, is peeking around the corners like she's paranoid or acting like somebody was out to get her or something. And John's over there talking to her. He's outside of the truck. I didn't know this little date was set up or anything. I didn't know he was taking me for him to go meet some chick that he was interested in. I didn't know this.
Okay.
But I do remember, clear as day, that at some point he had the girl inside the truck, talking to her, flirting with her. She was laughing and stuff. I took it as he didn't know this girl. I guess he saw her one day while he went on a store run, while I was left at one of the client's house to clean carpet, and while he said he'd be back. And he must have met this girl one day when he went on a store run while I was cleaning carpets.
That is an assumption, though. At the same time, you don't know that for 100%. Okay.
Because me and him smoke cigarettes, and we smoke weed. So a lot of times we would run and get papers and shit. Well, he told me that he was going to go see somebody real quick to stay in the back cab of the truck, of the pickup truck. It's a regular pickup truck with no cover on it. Just, you could sit on the wheelbarrow, the wheel well in the back of the truck, like an old-fashioned pickup. So I got back there, and he had the back window open where I can hear him talking. So he picked up this chick, and I'm thinking this girl was of age. And mind you, this is in 1999. I was 18 years old, dude. I'm in a car with a guy that's supposed to be taking me to clean carpets for us both to make money to a carpet cleaning company. I don't know what this guy is up to. I don't even know him. They just placed me with him to the carpet cleaning company. Right?
Okay.
Well, one thing leads to another. He starts hugging on this chick and he starts kissing on her. You know? While he's driving around the corner and driving in circles and driving in circles. And I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of cold outside. I'm like, John, dude, what are you doing? I don't like being back here in the back of the truck. I would really like to get up there with the heater. He was like, just hold on, bro. I'm just going to go drop her off to where she wants to go, and you'll be back up here. Well, he's sitting there, you know, flirting with her, talking to her. She's giggling and shit. He's kissing on her and shit. But he's basically just talking to her and kissing her once in a while. Next thing you know, some car is approaching us from the other direction, and this girl ducks down. And John was like, what are you ducking down for? And she told him that she just left the house, he wasn't supposed to leave, and that's her dad. He must be out looking for her.
Oh dear. It wouldn't have been hard to say this in the first place instead of putting out a narrative that somebody got kidnapped. Cecil. Fuck's sake.
And John was like, okay, well, where do you want me to take you? You want me to take you where you said you wanted to go? She wanted to go to, like, this spot that's, like, 2 blocks away from her house, I think her friend's house. So he waited for the car to drive on so she wouldn't get in trouble or whatever for leaving the house. So he drove her 2 blocks up the street from where he picked her up. He dropped her off. Once she got out of the car, I got back up in the front passenger side, and we left. And I thought this shit was fucking weird. Because this girl obviously must have not have been of age, because if she was, why would she care if her dad seen her?
That would be a good question, yes.
And that just led up to other weird ass things that this John guy, I kept seeing him do weird shit and saying weird shit. The dude skipped me up. Now, not at any point did she ever say what her age was. I don't know. But I know there's not a girl that's of age that's acting like that just because her dad's coming down the street. Just because she's simply sitting in a car with a guy. Or a company truck with a guy. And mind you, I don't have no control of where this guy takes me. I was his assistant for carpet cleaning. He drove, I didn't have a license. The truck was in his name. So wherever this guy took me, I had to go. And if I wanted to get home, I had to stay with that truck. You know?
I can understand your first job, you're 18, you know, you're a young person, your boss has got an influence over you. I can get that, you know. Don't automatically assume that we're going to make you out to be the bad one every single time. Just tell the truth the first time, and, you know, you won't have as much shit. Do you know?
So, I'm not in control what this douchebag does. Now, if he was ever out there, like, about to kill somebody or something, yeah, I'm running away. I'm not being a part of no shit like that. Or anything that's illegal, I wouldn't have been a part of it. I would have ran away. I would have found a way to get home, even if I would have had to walk 100 miles. But yeah, so I was leery about that. Like, why is this guy kissing this girl who's ducking down from her dad coming down the street? You know? So no, it wasn't a kidnapping. It was John, Gideon, out there flirting with and trying to cheat on his girlfriend with these young girls. Who knows how old they were. She could have been 18, I don't fucking know. But we didn't know the girl. But they were obviously into each other. They were obviously trying to network with each other because he kissed her. And they was holding each other and shit and talking for a little while. So, I don't know any girl that's of age that's going to be ducking down because someone's coming that's her guardian.
Yeah, but can you understand how we were extremely worried when you brought out the first story that was half a story, and you put this narrative spin, and then there was a possible kidnapping. I went up the walls. Everybody else fucking lost their shit. People reported on it, and it was in their videos that Cecil was possibly involved in a possible kidnapping. You know, you try to make this guy out extremely bad because of the possibility of him coming on a podcast, and you ended up looking stupid. Because you put out this narrative and you were in the truck. If you would have came out with this story in the first place, you wouldn't get as much stick as you do.
And it bothered me all these years because I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember telling John, I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck that was, but you need to be careful. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You know?
I think you said that in the last video as well.
But that's what happened. And this is what I get for trying to fucking share real stories on YouTube, whether it's about me, my childhood, people I worked with, people who set me up.
But you spun this other narrative that had everybody worried. And you can't blame them for that.
Yeah. That shit bothered me for years because I'm thinking this girl has to be underage because she wouldn't have been ducking down hiding from her daddy if she wasn't. You know? So, I don't know, it was over almost 30 years ago. The girl's probably 50 years old now, or in her 40s. I don't know if they ever got together after I went to jail for drug possession, but I remember that just as well as I remember John Gideon fucking going through the underage girl's panty drawer while he was supposed to be cleaning carpets right before.
Yeah, that's another story in itself. And Cecil ends up in prison, and he is scot-free. There's something missing out of that one, let's just say.
Before he set me up, so...
Yeah, Cecil claims that this guy set him up, and he went to jail. This other guy got away scot-free, and it was his drugs, blah, blah, blah. There's something amiss there.
So no, there wasn't a kidnapping.
Well, thanks for clarifying it. At fucking last.
I kind of insinuated a story involving a girl with John, and Master Shredder and his army of fucktards made an assumption.
What else we were supposed to do? You said, remember the girl, John? Remember they were looking for her? And you had possession of her, John? What were we supposed to fucking think, Cecil? You done that on fucking purpose. Don't fucking lie about it. You put out this narrative that there was a possible kidnapping to make John so scared, and possibly that he wouldn't come on the podcast because Cecil had this dirt on him. And this was kind of a blackmailing thing. Cecil, that was a dirty trick, I have to say. But I wouldn't put it past you. Then again, you're telling us this story, but it's coming from the voice of a serial liar. Now, I'm not saying that I don't believe you, but you have a extremely bad record of making up stories and then changing them.
That there was some type of kidnapping. That's what they do. They just assume shit.
You put it down that direction, Cecil. It was you. Don't blame anybody else. It was fucking you. And people were right to be concerned, because that's what you fucking said. Remember John? Remember the girl? Remember when you picked her up? We picked her up. People were looking for her. Remember that one, John? I do. Almost word for word. It was down those lines. It's in a previous video I've done. People were up the fucking walls, Cecil. So, you know, this backfired on you, and now you have to explain yourself. If you'd done it right in the first place, you wouldn't be in as much shit. You just can't help yourself but get yourself into trouble every flippin' time.
That isn't true based off of assumptions. They just add their version of whatever they want some fucking guilt to be. And that's just how they are.
But how are we supposed to fucking think in that situation, Cecil?
But it's sad that they would sit over there and act like they're networking with such a slime ball. Why the fuck would they sit over there and even act like that they were networking with, talking with, against me, conspiring against me with some dude that I told you guys who was stealing underage girls' panties while we were fucking cleaning carpet?
But Cecil, when a certain person says that they were going to have John Gideon on their show, you came out with this kidnapping narrative. That makes me think that you've got something to hide. You got scared, and you spun this narrative by coming out with half a story. You wanted to scare him from going on that podcast. Why were you scared that he was going to come out and tell his side of the story, Cecil? Do you know? We're not stupid, Cecil. There's things here that you're not fully honest with us. That's why we come after you, Cecil. That's why we hold you to your word. And you lie all the time.
It means y'all pick and choose who y'all want to hate on and why.
No, Cecil, you said things, and everything came from your mouth. We didn't spin narratives or anything like that. The confession video, for example, you said those things. You can't say you didn't say them. And then you say, oh, it was edited. And then you come up with this backup thing that you sleep hump. And you possibly were sleep humping, and that means you wouldn't be responsible if that happened. Now, why would you have to come out with that if you knew 100% that the video was edited? Because it wasn't edited, Cecil. We're not stupid, Cecil.
You see, John Gideon ain't trying to run a YouTube channel, so y'all ain't trying to run him off or ruin his reputation or anything like that. You see, if somebody has nothing to lose, they're not going to try to take nothing from them.
But we don't know John Gideon.
Me, I'm trying to grow a fucking channel doing paranormal and music and other.
You're not going to do it on this channel, Cecil. You've talked it way too much. You've put your personal crap out here, and your personal attacks, your slander, your arguments with people. You're constantly lying. You're constantly arguing. Nobody watches the other stuff because you've attracted people that want to see these unhinged rants, which sometimes is funny actually, I have to say.
Other things. So you guys want to wave my channel over my head and threaten me with canceling me.
But you're cancelled already, Cecil. You've got two viewers that follow you. You get loads of views. You got loads of views when you announced that you were leaving YouTube. But you don't have support. You've got two people. You've got two people that support you. You've got 1,700 subscribers. Most people subscribe and turn the notifications on so they don't miss your next angry rant. That's what it is, Cecil. You're shadow banned by the looks of things. Even if you decided I'm going to turn advertisements off, I'm not going to make money off channels. YouTube sometimes puts advertisements on channels anyway, but for some reason they haven't picked yours. And the reason for that is because you talk about very controversial things and your language is appalling.
When I can get natural views without drama, I don't need drama or gossip or fighting with people to get plays. I can get thousands of plays on shorts and paranormal fucking videos.
I don't see you getting thousands of views on real paranormal stuff. You get thousands of plays of clout chasing because you're a tragedy pimp, basically. If you've done proper paranormal research, believe me, proper paranormal research with science and everything, a lot of people not sort of into that, but it's real paranormal stuff. Do you know? These celebrities, bird box sessions are kind of like a false narrative, and people are just copying what Steve Huff does. Because Steve Huff gets views, and everybody just copied what he does. So you got a big load of Steve Huff clones, and the reason why they're copying Steve is not because of their interest in the paranormal. They want to get views on their channel. That's not natural views, really, to be honest with you. Putting a celebrity's name in the title and getting views that way. That's not, nobody's going to take you, in the real paranormal community, nobody's going to take you seriously if you go down the route of being a tragedy pimp. I'm just telling you the truth.
But just because I was stuck in his truck, that was my only way home, not knowing what he was out there doing, doesn't mean that I'm guilty because he wanted to make out with some chick that he didn't even know her fucking age, who was obviously, the girl was hiding from somebody. Is that a kidnapping? No.
But you put the narrative out. But how do you know that he didn't know her age? That's you making assumptions. So see, you make assumptions all the time as well. You're the one that makes more assumptions than we do. And you put it out as facts. You make a lot of assumptions and just put them out as facts. And then you turn out to be wrong and you look like a clown. And it's your fault. And then you blame us.
That's your fucking assumption, you weirdo. You know? Does that mean the girl was underage? No. It means that John Gideon's a fucking weirdo who will go out there and find some young girl, not even ask her fucking age, and start kissing on her, not even knowing her name, while taking her where she wants to go.
How do you know he didn't know her name? You know, obviously they were they were kissing and cuddling and stuff. How does this make sense, Cecil? This is starting to fall apart now. John Gideon was in the front of a truck, kissing a girl and cuddling her, and he doesn't know her name. Cecil, that doesn't make it. Cecil, every time you tell a story, there's always a big fucking hole in it. Cecil, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
The dude was a creep. You know?
Says the guy that's in the bath talking about this was a dripping tap. Cecil, why do you come up with these things in your head while you're in the bath? And feel the need to stream it on YouTube? Fucking hell. I was trying to think of something to say there and I couldn't.
But I'm sure that my haters are gonna wing that little story into whatever they want to wing it into. Mind you, I'm 42 years old, telling the story from when I was 18.
Well, you could have told the story properly in the first place. Then we wouldn't have made this, made this possible assumption that somebody might have been kidnapped because you put it out there, Cecil.
When you go to work for somebody, can you really control who they place you with? If they place you with somebody, can you really control who they put you with on the...
Cecil, I know you're going into victim mode now. I automatically know I'm the victim here.
Job? Who they send to train you? Who they send you to work with and assist? No.
Are we nearly finished?
Can you pick and choose who you want to work around? What type of people you want to surround yourself with? No, you can't. You have to take what the fuck they give you and deal with whoever's there.
Right.
Period.
But this doesn't help your previous story at all. You went on attack mode the last time. You give out the impression that somebody got kidnapped. You have to put your hand up to that one, but you won't, because you're the victim. Oh, I was in the truck, I had nowhere to go, and always playing the victim, Cecil.
So, there you go, Mr. fucking masturbator, master shredder.
Yes, get some personal insults in there. Why not?
There's your kidnapping story, you idiot. Make sure you wing another 12-minute fucking video. That way you got two different versions of an assumption that you made, like you always do, you fucking idiot. With me telling the actual story, you can't make an assumption now. You're just gonna have to wing it into whatever you want it to be. Because that's what you fuck...
12-minute video, this has gone to 43 minutes.
Tards do. You don't need evidence, you just take people's videos and misinterpret it into whatever you want it to be. You push your agenda to whatever you want people to look like.
No, you done that. That's exactly what you done with that story. People thought that somebody got kidnapped because you put that out there. You give the impression that there was somebody possibly kidnapped. You came out with half a story. And because you're a serial liar, I didn't believe you anyway. But, if there was a possible kidnapping, that means that there was a possible victim. We had to be concerned. That's just the way we are. I'm not finishing this video. He just talks. He stretches out a small story into a big long flipping rant, and the subject sometimes hops and changes and stuff. So I'm finished for that one. See you next time, folks. When will this all end? Oh, actually, he's leaving YouTube again. It's round 2. So I wonder how long this is going to last. Will it be longer than 12 hours this time?